Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over the brand new Divination update. It's sort of a rework, however it is quite small, but it does change this skill in quite a big way. Before this update, Divination was a pretty slow and boring skill. It wasn't too AFK either, but this update really has changed it. It's made the skill a lot more AFK, a lot more social, and also has increased the XP per hour as well as the energy that you can gain per hour. So this is a pretty big update and it is going to affect the game in a lot of different ways. And I'm going to start this video by going over some of the changes that they have made to this skill. So first off, one of the major changes that they have made is that they have decreased the Wisp wander rage. As you can see in the old clip, the Wisps used to wander all over the place, but now they are only going to be within 5 tiles of the rift, making it a lot better because you won't have to run as far back and forth to the rift when converting your memories. And also, it does make the skill a little bit more AFK in that way as well. Now, also the biggest change that has changed the way the skill is trained is the spring duration. It's made it a lot more AFK. As you can see in the old clip, the springs used to just disappear randomly. However, the new change is that they will at least last 60 seconds, and then an additional 15 seconds will be added if another player interacts with that spring, up to a maximum of 5 players, so 75 extra seconds. So the maximum time a spring will last now is 2 minutes and 15 seconds. That is a massive increase from before, where it was roughly 30 seconds from my experience, so the skill is going to be a lot more AFK that way. Another change that has been made is the critical chance while gathering. So when you are gathering memories, you'll have a chance to get an enriched memory. And the big thing about this is that the chance can go over 100%, so you can get it to 150%, for example. So with this, you would get that one enriched memory, and you'll have a 50% chance to get another. Now, the ways that you can increase your critical chance include wearing the Divination outfits, the Divination cape. Also, the Prism of Dowsing will increase the critical chance by 5%. And then there's also the Memory Overflow. This will increase your critical chance by 10%. And this is another new addition to the skill. So the Memory Overflow is another sort of social aspect that they have added to this skill. So it's a new buff, and it will be triggered when a few other players contribute Chronicle Fragments to the Energy Rift. So basically, when you do get the Chronicle Fragments, you can use them on the Rift, empower the Rift, and it will have a certain charge rate. Once that charge rate reaches 100%, then you will all get that buff. I believe it takes right around 30 Chronicle Fragments to get that to 100%. And so once the Rift is empowered at 100%, you will get this Memory Overflow buff. So what the buff is, it will give you a +1 base energy from depositing your memories. It'll also give you 5% more XP from deposited memories, and a 10% higher critical chance when siphoning from nearby springs. It will also spawn an enriched Wisp 100% of the time, which will boost your critical rating by 100%. So that's how you will get your critical rating above that 100%. It can actually go above 200% too, because sometimes you'll get 3 memories in one game tick. So this is really interesting. It does really promote that social aspect of the skill. And as you guys can see, I did hop on the Divination world, which was world 79. And just the amount of people here basically makes it so the Rift is always empowered. They're always putting in Chronicles to the Rift. So doing this, you'll actually always see an enriched memory or an enriched spring. So this is really important. It will increase the XP per hour you can get from Divination on this world just exponentially, because you'll always get that enriched spring. The only downside about this, at least the update did just come out, so the world is super populated in this area, but hopefully within the next few weeks a few less people do disappear from this area, because right now it is just a bit too ridiculous. I even found if the enriched spring did spawn in the middle of the Divination Rift, I wasn't able to convert my memories just because there were too many people around it, and I couldn't really click on the rift. So right now there is a bit too many people on this world, but you're getting all of the max buffs if you are here. Now, also, as I mentioned, you will be getting Chronicle Fragments as you do Divination, a lot like how it was before this update, but the Chronicle Fragments, they have sort of been changed a little bit as well, so they're actually going to be more like the Fire Spirits, where they are spawned right around you and they won't move. So that is going to be a little bit of a change. However, you will be able to grab the Chronicle Fragments within 6 seconds. You will get an Enriched Chronicle, which will be a little bit more XP when you do empower the Rift with it. Also, other players will be able to take your Chronicle Fragments, so you will need to be fast with it. But also, you can use the Chronicle Attraction Curse, and this will automatically make it so you pick up the Chronicle Fragment, and it will be an Enriched Chronicle Fragment. So that is the brief little change to Chronicle Fragments that they have made in the game. And finally, there is one more update that they did change with Divination. So along with this update, they have increased the Sign of the Porter. They made the Sign of the Porter 7. So this will require the Dragonstone necklaces and incandescent energy. And what these Sign of the Porters do, they'll actually give you 50 charges. So this is a big increase from the previous 30 charges from Sign of the Porter 6. And if you guys are aware, Sign of the Porter 6 used to use incandescent energy. Now it basically just decreased a tier. It's going to be using luminous energy, and you will still be using the diamond necklaces. So this is a really nice change. It will add a lot more charges into the game, and it's going to be cheaper as well, since not only the Sign of the Porter 6 is decreased a tier, but we also got these new ones which give 50 charges. So this is really great, since the Sign of the Porter charges have been in high demand, especially with archaeology. There has also been a few other changes as well. They added a few new transmutations that you can get while using Divination. For example, they got the Dark and Light Amnica. They got Raw Rock Tails. You can now get that from Incandescent Energy. So there is a bunch of new transmutations. They also changed some items as well, just to actually add to the buffs that you can get with Divination now. So as you guys can see, the Divination skill cape has a bit of a different effect now. It will boost the spring's minimum duration by 30 seconds for one time. Also, that will increase the total duration of the spring. So if you do have those 5 players that are interacting with the spring, it will boost it to the maximum of 215 seconds. But then this Divination skill cape will actually increase it another 30 seconds to make it 2 minutes and 45 seconds. You also got the Ethereal Connection perk. Now this effect doesn't stack with the Divination cape, meaning that the maximum actually is 2 minutes and 45 seconds for the spring duration. And then we also have the Fading Memory that changed. It will increase the crit chance. The Elite Divination outfit will also give you a 5% chance of granting 100% crit chance, 7% for the Elder. And there are a few other changes here, as you guys can see. Now, since I went over all the changes, I want to briefly talk about how this might affect the game. So, based on my experience, I did test this a little bit for about half an hour, and from my experience, I was getting about 21 or 22,000 energy per hour, which is an increase, and I'm sure you could increase it a little bit more. I mostly stayed on a sort of medium populated world, since I just didn't like how many players were on the Divination training world. But this is much faster than before. It's also a lot more AFK, so obviously the prices of energies are going to decrease by quite a bit. And in turn, this is also going to decrease the divine charges, since those do require the energy to make. So it is going to make the cost of PVM a little bit lower, which is a really nice benefit. Of course, I think it is a little bit too high right now. So having energies a little bit cheaper are going to do that. It's also going to decrease the cost of the Sign of the Porter charges. So that is another really great thing. overall, energies, they are just used for so much, so decreasing the cost of them, I think, is pretty good for the game. These changes also do allow you to train Divination a lot faster, which is awesome. Divination was one of my least favorite skills when I was maxing, so having it a little bit more AFK, more social, I think this will promote the skill a little bit more. And I personally am all for these changes. I think they are fantastic. And if you guys, let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about these changes and if you like them or not. And anyway, guys, I really hope you did enjoy this video and found it informative. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.